Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to season 3, episode 7. Welcome back to another episode of our weekly news roundup. Guys, before we get started on today's
Why is
episode,
always looking at me like that, man? Come on.
Yo, this is biting his lip.
I'm trying not to laugh.
guys, remember I post a link on Twitter at Kool-Aid Podcast, and all you guys have to do is just basically go on our Twitter page at Kool-Aid Podcast. As I said, just click on the link, and then you'll be able to join. That way, you guys can also hop in and give your thoughts, comments, and discuss with us as well. But let me choose the co-hosts for tonight, both Alvaro and Alex. Guys, say what's up.
Oh, what's up, guys?
So, guys,
Okay, guys, on today's segment, we're going to be talking about Joao Cancelo. We have received the here we go confirmation from Fabrizio Romano. We did receive that earlier today in the morning. We'll be talking about what Joao Cancelo can do. I know we talked about it before, just we can talk about it again. And also we're going to be talking about Fermin Lopez. Fermin Lopez, he is set to renew a new contract with Barcelona. And then lastly, we'll be talking about like separate different subjects. We're also going to be talking some quick takeaways from yesterday's game. But first topic of the discussion, Joao Cancelo. Guys, how excited are you guys that Joao Cancelo is going to be coming to Barcelona?
I mean,
I mean,
900?
first
this is
real
a
right back since Danny Alves. So I mean,
yeah, this is a phenomenal signing right here.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all seen what a great player he is. I know he's received some criticism for the way he defends sometimes, but I think he's a decent enough defender to where we're not gonna need him to be like that on defense at all times. Like if it makes sense, like what I'm trying to say is like he's not gonna be like, for example, like Trent, right? Like a player like Trent Alexander-Arnold, who we know he's great offensively, but defensively he lacks, right? Cancelo is not a terrible defender. He's a decent defender, but he's phenomenal going up top, and I feel like he's gonna bring so much firepower to our team. He has a great range of passing. He's a great crosser of the ball. Like he's just an amazing player. And we've certainly seen it at City. At Bayern, not so much, but he was there on loan and whatnot. But for sure, he's gonna be a great player for Barca, in my opinion. I think he's gonna fit great into Xavi's system.
Yeah, right there. As you
I
can see.
mean,
Oh yeah,
not only
Alvaro.
not only is he pivotal to the team as a whole, like defensively and offensively, this also reduces injury probabilities for Conde and Araujo having to play a position that they're physically not meant to be playing. They're physically meant to be a center back. Their physicality means that shows that they're center backs. And I mean, now you can stop shuffling around center backs and right backs. You can go with Cancelo straight on for the entirety of the season, and then whenever you need him to rest, you can play the first captain of Barcelona at right back.
But let
Sergio Roberto.
but let me ask you something before we continue talking about this, or if we move on. Um, with Cancelo now at Barca as the right back position, who are your two center backs and why? I personally will go with Araujo and Christensen,
Yeah,
just
And
because
not Kunde?
I would actually start Christensen before Kunde, because I don't know about you guys, but Christensen gives me this feeling of confidence at center back that I feel like he's better on the ball. He's a more composed center back, and I feel like what Conde does, he does just as well. That's not to discredit Conde. I think he's a great player, but I honestly think in a starting situation where you're playing Real Madrid or you're playing a top team and you want to go with your best 11, I feel like Araujo and Christensen have to be your two starting center backs.
look, honestly, once Araujo's gonna be out for I don't know how many more weeks, but once he's back, this is a good problem to have. You have three top center backs fighting for two spots. It would be better this than having to have Eric Garcia starting every game for you. Now, maybe we can see how Xavi wants to play, and maybe strategically, if you want more, I don't know, if you want a more um I'm trying to think of a more creative defense. You have Christensen at the back. I mean, honestly, I really don't see Conde and Araujo playing much unless Christensen is sitting down. I think Christensen is a different center back from Araujo and Conde, who are more aggressive center backs. Which I still believe that Araujo is better than Conde, but they're both pretty similar players. So I agree with that. I think it will be Cancelo, Conde, Christensen, and Balden.
Okay, I mean that's valid. Well, one problem that I have with that is just that I probably don't think that all four of them are going to be fit at the same time. You're probably going to have maybe an injury to either Araujo or an injury to Christensen, maybe. Um, because we have to remember that Araujo is very injury prone. And then you also have, for example, Balde, who at times does get injured. He was like very regular throughout last season, but this season, like he started off with like a couple of knocks, etc. But the main thing about Joao Cancelo is that we finally have a right back in our squad. When you look at the right backs that Barcelona have had since Dani Alves left the club, it was Sergio Roberto, then it was Nelson Semedo, and then it was Serginho Dest.
No,
So like I know, like those are not Barcelona right backs whatsoever, and so we finally have a right back. Just we have to think that Joao Cancelo, he's not your typical right back. Like he is an inverted fullback. Like he's gonna
yeah.
come in and add another body into the midfield. You know, he's gonna be basically like a midfielder. Um, and so like when Barcelona attacking, you're gonna have that extra presence. And one of the benefits of having Joao Cancelo is that we can possibly like maybe ditch the four
four-man.
man yeah, exactly, the 4-man midfield. We can go for something different, and you give Xavi some more flexibility in the system. But I think this is a great deal for Barcelona. We have to remember we're buying a top quality player. This is a loan and it's a buy option. It's not a mandatory. It's only mandatory if Barcelona get past the group stage of the Champions League, and that's only for 25 million euros. Do you guys think that that's a solid price?
Yeah,
Or
I honestly think it's. I'm not. I was gonna call it a steal, but in today's market, maybe not so much. But still, I think it's great business by Barca.
Mhm.
Only 25 million, and you're solving a huge problem that you have with a quality player. So I honestly
Mm,
think it's a good idea. And besides, going back to what you were
you
saying,
kind of have to. No, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
sorry. The other thing about Cancelo that we're not considering is that he's played in Barcelona style teams, if you want to call it that, such as Man City. Like he's familiar with tiki taka and having possession game, like having a possession game. So
Yep.
I feel like you'll fit right into Xavi's system.
Okay.
No,
I hate.
I mean, look, there's there's really no set price for having a real center back, a real right back on your team after so many years. You can't just worry so much about if we reach this point, we don't have to pay this for him, whatever. Even if he gives you 60% of his production, it's still way better than what we've gotten all these years.
You're right.
So obviously, we're not expecting to be the next Dani Alves that like a player doesn't come in and you immediately expect him to perform again, like the best right back that Barca's ever had. But even half of the production that he can put up, it's gonna be better than Dest and the stupid amount of right backs that we've had before.
You're totally right. But I'm very excited for this signing, as I've mentioned.
Will he
Uh,
be? Sorry, will he be eligible for Osasuna or no?
yeah, I think so. I think so. His flight actually was canceled.
Yes,
He
for
was supposed
tomorrow.
to be, yeah, for tomorrow. He was supposed to be coming in today, but due to some issue with La Liga or something, like it's been postponed. Just Javier Tebas doing everything he can to delay the move, but he should be back. No, he should be in Barcelona maybe either tomorrow or the day after,
Right.
and he should be available for the game against Osasuna this weekend. Which once again we're gonna have some selection issues because Xavi is back on the touchline as well as Rafinha. And we are going to be talking about this in the match preview, basic for that match, but it's not easy for Xavi to decide who's going to be playing that match because Lamine Yamal and Ferran Torres, they played absolutely spectacular against yesterday. And it's going to be a selection dilemma. It's going to be difficult to see who Xavi's going to start with. And then this is a fantastic problem you want to have. But guys, now we're going to be talking about Fermin Lopez. This is reported by Fabrizio Romano. This is basically all but confirmed. But Fermin Lopez has agreed new long-term deal at Barcelona, valid until June 2028. Agreement in place after round of talks revealed yesterday. It will be signed on Tuesday, as called by Gerard Romero tonight. Barcelona convinced he's the present and future of the club, and this is so great that we are basically keeping these exciting and talented youngsters at the club because We have to remember um, Thiago Alcantara, Xavi Simons. We have tons of players who left the club, and we want to keep these players, because we do want to be successful. But guys, are you guys excited that Fermin Lopez is extending his contract, or would you guys maybe like think of selling him?
I feel like he's a player we haven't seen enough of to really have an opinion on, but from the little that I've seen, he looks like a very promising young player. I think he should be a player that either we give a little bit of time to and we maybe get, well, Xavi maybe gives a chance to and gives him some minutes, or we loan him and let him get more experience, come back better. That could very well be an
Look,
option, but I like
he,
him personally.
he already won the hearts of like half the Barca fans because of that friendly goal, like that friendly match goal
Yeah,
against
that
Golazo
screamer against
against
Real Madrid.
Madrid. And look, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Yesterday when I saw him come on, who did they come on for? Gabi? No.
Are you talking on the match yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday I forgot
Oh
who
yeah, yeah.
subbed in for.
He was actually like one of the last names.
Gabi or
Uh,
Gundogan, right?
yeah, something like that. Let me check
Okay,
right now
well,
to see.
whatever. Oh no, Jamal maybe.
Yeah, Fermin Lopez came
Well,
on.
whatever.
Yeah,
He took a shot from outside the box, and like we were talking about this before starting the live stream, and it was on the lower right that was stopped. It was stopped by that goalie, and I don't know if it's because I already saw the screamer against Madrid, but I get it. Like I feel calm seeing him shoot and expecting him to like place the ball somewhere in the goal to lead to a corner kick or something like that. He has a very promising left foot, in
yeah,
my opinion.
yeah. He
And
like he's a
maybe
rocket.
Barca just maybe thinks that it's more fun to go on loan and get some starter minutes somewhere else in La Liga, or maybe they want to keep him as depth. Him coming on yesterday in a 4-3 game, it shows that he's not just one of those
Yeah,
nobodies. Again, Rafinha was not there, but it shows that Xavi has interest in him. So, and again,
yeah.
he he's
He
promising. So
he's Barcelona's sixth midfielder for this season. Obviously, you have Pedri, you have Gavi, you have Gundogan, you have Frankie De Jong, and you have Romeo. You have those five key midfielders who are all going to be rotating and playing very often. But then, like for example, like what happens if one of them gets injured, or if Xavi wants to play 4-3-3, or if he wants to give rest? That's where Fermin Lopez comes in and he gives us some rest. And I think that's a very good role. And when Fermin Lopez doesn't play, just send him to the B team, because like he is still registered to the B team. He's not a first team player. And so have him play with the Barcelona Athletic, and just have him develop there, but also get first team football. That's very good. And we also have to keep him a reminder that his release clause is 400 million euros. So there's absolutely no way of him leaving until with like a release clause buy or anything like that. They have to negotiate with the club, and he's going to be here for the next 5 years, which is very very promising. Um, but as Alex said, we have to keep in mind that he still is very young, and we haven't seen much of him yet. We've only seen a couple minutes, and we need to keep our expectations set. But guys, we are not going to be talking just some quick hot takeaways from the Villarreal game. I know Alex and Avalo, they weren't able to give their thoughts about the match yesterday, but I'll talk to Alex first. Alex, what were your key takeaways from yesterday's match?
So I'll give the most obvious one first. Lamine Yamal is a dog. He is an actual dog. Like I'm sorry, I have not seen such a solid performance from someone that young, and I think that's the youngest I've ever seen someone perform that well. It's incredible the talent that we have at our hands, and and the fact that he's been able to come into the first team at such a young age and solve one of our biggest problems, which was that right winger role, especially now that
Yeah.
Dembele left and there's not a lot of trust in Rafinha's ability. So, right off the bat, I gotta put credit where credit's due. Um, Another takeaway, Ferran Torres. He's had a great start to the season. I don't want to bring my hopes up because he always does this. He always
He always says it.
he always-
Are we going to see a Ferran Torres prime this season?
let's hope so. I mean, look, if he were to play consistently, that's it. That's your left winger, and then you could just move move it around with Lamine Yamal and who knows? Maybe it could actually work. But yes, Fernando Torres was amazing yesterday. Um, some not so good takeaways. Our defense is still not as solid as we think it is. I understand we had players that were injured or not playing,
Did you guys see the report
but
that
still, I'm so sorry. Eric Garcia and Alonso cannot, by any means, start anywhere near an important match. I'm so sorry.
Guys,
Wait, wait,
no. Speaking on that, look at this. Just in, Manchester United have sent Barcelona a
Yep,
formal
I
offer.
was
please,
just
please take him.
apparently
Take him.
apparently it's a 2 year deal. I was gonna talk about this
Yeah,
right now, right before you brought that up. Apparently it's a 2
yeah,
year deal. So
yeah. Uh,
please,
Look at this comment.
please,
Accept it and block them on all platforms.
please.
Do
No,
that.
but
Do
look,
that immediately.
and I was telling guys this in the morning. I'm sure it's bullshit, but it was funny because they were saying that apparently Xavi grabbed and pulled Sergio Roberto's ear after the game, like kind of like um like shitting on him for having a crappy performance. Sergio Roberto, look, I saw a TikTok today from the Barca account of the four Barca captains: Frenkie, Araujo, and Ter Stegen, and then Sergio Roberto.
Yeah.
Dude, you have three players. Frankie is one of the best midfielders in the world. Ter Stegen is one of the best goalies in the world. Araujo is one of the best defenders. Why is Sergio Roberto doing that? And it's not like
He,
his
sco- he
performance
scored the winning goal in a remontada. What do you mean?
his performance on the field does not back up. Not even it's I mean not desperate for Alonso. Hey man, I'll gift him away. I'll drive him to
United,
the airport.
United buys
Yeah.
anyone that wants them.
I'll drive him to the
Yeah,
airport.
yeah. We'll drive him. First class ticket. Well, actually, no, because
No, but
we
look,
need the
my
money.
take on
But
my take on the game. Let's having Conde or Araujo available from now on. That them two or one or two of them should be the second right back option after Cancelo. Third should be Sergio Roberto. He cannot he can play
yeah,
defense. He can't track back after going up. He's more of a midfielder and he's not even a good midfielder. So I mean, it's embarrassing to see him play. And yesterday we got very lucky that we got out there with a win because those fullbacks are abysmal.
Hmm.
So another takeaway. I know Elias that you're not a fan of the former midfield. I think that as long as Lewandowski, I mean, yesterday that goal was dumb. He was right in front of the goal, whatever. Maybe that builds confidence. As long as Lewandowski can do something that's not just like playing out like our position and just passing the ball around,
playing out wide.
that former
He's not
midfield,
Harry Kane.
that former midfield, I've liked it, and I think that it can work. Jamal, he's playing out of his mind. And I saw today a tweet saying that he's the youngest player in La Liga to do something after
Yeah.
Ansu Fati. And that's
Mhm.
sad and scary because you think of Ansu Fati, all the hype that he had, and look how much he's falling off. You're hoping it's not seeing the same for Jamal, which they are both very different players. But this kid dominates, and he's more confident than any other player on the field.
You guys want to know
Yeah.
something funny? That's the next
What?
golden boy right there.
The
And
next quarter
again,
before.
yo, look, we've had Pedri, Gavi, Balde, now Yamal. Again, obviously, it's just two games. God forbid anything else happens to him, and maybe he lowers production. He's going off right now, and I could very well see Xavi running out a former midfield with Gavi on the left wing, which I mean we all know that he's not really on the wing; it's just like that on paper. And then you could have Yamal and Leo up top. Yamal's cutting like as good as Dembele. He's crossing better than anybody. He had two shots on post yesterday. One of them led to a Lewandowski goal. So I mean,
And one thing we're not
again, he's
considering,
16.
but sorry to interrupt, but one thing we're also not considering is the fouls that he draws and the chances he creates and the positions he gets
Exactly.
into. In the
Precisely.
first, excuse me, in the previous game before Villarreal, we saw a bunch of dribbling that got us into good chances that we just couldn't capitalize on. But again, it's what I'm talking about. He's out here creating chances. He's a great dribbler. He can cross, and he can score. I mean, he still needs to work on his finishing a little bit, but still, he's a scary player. Phenomenal.
Yeah, he's class. As long as he doesn't get any big injuries, like Ansu Fati did, which did like hamper his development. And even though it's still very young for Ansu Fati because he's still a very young player, he's developing. But as long as those big injuries hit, I mean, don't happen, and we manage expectations, and we don't burn him out like we did Pedri, we can actually do something. and we can have a very very quality player on our hands, which can be a Barcelona mainstay for many years. But guys, just basically just final thoughts before we then go on to our final piece of the episode, where we do talk about the exits of both Eric Garcia and Marcos Alonso. Just talking about them and just talking about like the transfer window as in general before it closes, because there's only a couple days left before the summer transfer window ends.
So I mean, my final thoughts on this would be that we're building something special at the club right now. There just need there just needs to be more consistency from the players, and Xavi finally has to pick out a team that works for him. Right now, in my opinion, Yamal has to start. Give Fernand Torres more time, right? Give him a few more matches, feel him out. Lewandowski needs to wake up, and there's there's not much more to say. Our defense has been solid. It's just we weren't playing with our full defense last game, and we know they're injury prone, but our midfield is still solid too. I just think for Barca to get ahead and to actually do something in the UCL and to win the La Liga again, I feel like they have to be they have to capitalize on the chances they have, because a lot of games we can win them 4 or 5-0. We just, again, a lot of missed chances, and just you gotta stay solid defensively. That's about it. I know it's very like general and whatnot, but that's really all it takes for Barca. I think we have the right players. We just gotta keep like building on the players we have, and try to find good depth for the squad, because we can't have another UCL night where it's Marcos Alonso and Eric Garcia starting.
Yeah.
Look, I mentioned this the other day on one of the previous podcasts regarding Ferran Torres. Again, the four midfielders that we have out there, they are meant to be starters. So I don't think Xavi has that unmatched trust on any of the left wingers. Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati, yes, Ferran Torres has been great. I don't think he deserves to be the starter yet, at least. So I think Xavi should utilize him as a super sub, similar to what we had in Luke De Jong 2 years ago. And I
The
mean,
goal.
yeah, look the goal. And
Go.
and again, if Ferran Torres starts going off consistently, then maybe you consider giving him starter minutes. For now, this is working, and it worked against an aggressive Villarreal team without us having real fullbacks. Imagine us having a competent defense. I mean, 4 goals is not what a crappy offense scores, and that shows you that a former midfield with Yamal up top is working. So I think Ferran Torres could still be doing a great job like he's been doing the past 2 games as a late game sub.
Yeah, I no, but I also feel like he could be a starter if we. Well, I keep saying we as if I'm part of the team, but
Your
if
words.
Xavi keeps the midfield as it is, I feel like we could have an even better version of Fernand Torres, because we would depend on him to score more and to create less. And I feel like sometimes he tries to play make, and that's not his strongest suit. I don't know. I feel like with the midfield we have right now, we have really good shape. We can hold possession. We can get possession back with players like Romeo. So, I just think it's a matter of time until we see if Fernand Torres really is supposed to be a starter and is supposed to be a part of the team.
And one quick comment regarding these couple of days before the transfer window's over. I'm sure many of you have seen the Fabrizio Romano post on Instagram saying that Laporta mentioned that yes, Cancelo's coming, and that other signings are being worked on. Don't get your hopes up on Bernardo Silva, for example. I know he signed the extension with
Yeah.
City. I'm saying don't get your hopes up on a Bernardo Silva type player. Right now, some depth will be great because again, we know Araujo's injury prone. We all know Cancelo's gonna be injury prone. We know Pedri's out. That attack doesn't have much depth, so let's hope that Porta and Alemani and Deco bring in some good depth for the team. That's all. That's pretty much all we can hope for. The defense is as good as it's gonna get with our starters. We have again. I don't think Xavi's gonna deviate from the former midfield. I really hope that he keeps it because it's been working. And then up top, Lewandowski can if he can find 1/3 of his normal play, he's gonna be fine. And Yamal,
Yeah, he's
hopefully,
Leo's gotta wake up for real.
and
Yeah.
we'll see if this goal, this crappy ass goal for against Villarreal, wakes him up. Who knows?
Basically. But now just talking about our final segment of the episode. what exits and what entrances can happen at the club. Because this is something that Alvaro said, that Laporta is actually thinking of making another signing for the club. And I'm thinking like, hey, if it's not even Fresneda, we've already sent Joao Cancelo. Which other player can that be? And the most obvious signing would be Joao Felix. But we've reiterated time and time again that we do not want Joao Felix at the club, and we need players to leave. Sergio Roberto is still here. Clement Longley is still here, guys.
Sergio is gonna stay.
First legend.
When you name Sergio Roberto the more on captain, he's not gonna get
Yeah,
sold.
yeah, okay. No, but not only him. You also have Eric Garcia, who, as you guys mentioned, is thinking of leaving. He has an interest from Girona.
Didn't Marseille show interest in Eric Garcia and Lenglet?
Bro, I don't care. I don't care if it was my school team.
Yeah, I forgot which team, but please, at least look, I understand keeping Eric Garcia
Send him to Saudi Arabia.
I understand keeping Eric. And look, the other day I saw that Barca agreed to some terms with one of their young center backs. I don't know his name. He has a weird ass name.
I saw it, but
so they have some center backs on the way. I don't mind keeping Eric Garcia for like plan Z defense. So again, you need some proven players at the very worst. Yeah. But Lenglet and Marcos Alonso, those are two exits that are waiting to happen. Get it done. I would rather them get 2, 3, or 4 players off the roster that are that way than sign more players.
But are they happening? Are they happening? For example,
Marcos Alonso, I think it's only a matter of time. Man United is a great that tweet that you showed us of Marcos Alonso and United. That's not the one that I saw. So I've already seen multiple tweets about this. So I'm guessing it could happen.
But United also have interest in Marco Corella from Chelsea, and so like if they're looking for options in that left back spot, like
but it's probably more realistic to get Marcos Alonso than
really. I mean, it is, I think, more realistic because you would have to pay a much higher transfer fee.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. They're trying to get like a little fix at left back. So
yeah. And also like another player who I really don't want to leave, but could leave is Abde, because there has been like tons of reports that he isn't happy with the amount of minutes that he's getting. He was disappointed that he didn't play at all in the game against Villarreal, and his condition for staying at the club is that he plays.
Look, I like him too, but he's not all that either.
Look, it sucks for me to say this, but if I have to pick between Ferran Torres, which he won't leave, if I have to pick between Ferran Torres,
number
Fati,
7,
if I have to pick between Ferran Torres, Fati, and Abde to leave, I will pick Fati.
Really?
I mean, I feel like most of the fan base would though.
No, and look, he was given number 10, so he was supposed to be he was supposed to be the next Messi, but he was supposed to be the next great Barca player.
Okay, but listen, I was number 10 from my travel team.
Okay, shut up.
I'm not Messi. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
No, but guys, the reason why I'm skeptical about this whole Abde deal is because all the players that you mentioned, they're very similar in profile. Ansu Fati, Ferran Torres, Rafinha. They're all similar play styles. I think the only pure natural winger is Abde, and maybe Yamal, but
sadly, it seems like Abde is the odd man out. Maybe because again, Laporta is giving a lot of reassurance on Fati, and who knows, maybe he's doing it on purpose to drive up his price on the market. I mean, for example, on the right wing, Rafinha is gonna stay, and it makes sense. Yamal, this is first season. You cannot just fully rely on him as
you can.
So you need Rafinha there at least to come in every now and then. So you have some security on the right. On the left, you have 3 question marks. Will Ferran Torres do this consistently? What is Fati gonna do? Is how they're gonna stay and get minutes? And will they even utilize those left wingers? Because again, that former midfield is working. So at the end of the day, you don't need 3 wingers that are gonna be on the bench. And it seems like Abde will be the odd man out. I hope not.
I honestly think that Ferran Torres, this might be a little reactionary on my part because he did have one good game, but
no, and not just one good game. He had like an amazing preseason and then like a couple good games at the start of La Liga.
I know, but listen, I feel like he's had very few games, but
exactly.
I will say like Give him the chance.
This is the Kool-Aid podcast. Only factual information are stated here.
Nah, bro.
Harry Kane is a
But
fraud.
listen,
But continue.
Ferran Torres is the GOAT. He's the greatest number 7 that has ever played in La Liga. So
Facts. Who's
there's
CR7, bro?
yeah, that's Ferran Torres' kid. But for real, I think Ferran Torres is a good option to have right now. Let him play out, let him get the left wing until he proves us otherwise, and then that's where I say, keep up. They give him more regular sub time, and I think that's it for now. You're not gonna get a replacement for the left wing, even if any of them leave, because who you're gonna get, Leao? You're not gonna get a player like that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly. But okay, just final question before we wrap it up. Who's leaving and who's staying?
Predictions?
I think Garcia and Alonso are leaving. Sergio Roberto and everyone else is staying.
Leaving. The thing
Hey,
I haven't
A
heard.
defender has to leave.
Again, I haven't heard shit about Lenglet rumors. And I'm
He's
hoping that
staying.
he leaves.
Guys, he's on Bartomeu wages. That's the worst thing. Like,
Yeah.
we need him gone like as soon as possible.
Please
Yeah,
don't give him back to Spurs.
realistically, I think
I'll appreciate
Spurs are finally doing well.
Please
realistically,
don't give him back.
I think Marcos Alonso and probably Abde doing. I would rather be Fati, even though it hurts to admit. But I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Marcos Alonso and
My
probably
heart.
Abde.
Yeah, but I don't want that to happen though. No, I mean, Marcus Alonso just like, guys, I will buy the first class
I'll
ticket
Uber
for
you to
him.
the airport.
How about Eric Garcia?
Okay,
Eric Garcia.
again.
I mean, like, he's a solid like squad rotational player.
No matter how much shit we talk about Eric
No way you
Garcia,
said that with a straight face.
no. No matter how much shit we talk about Eric-
rotational.
no matter how much shit we talk
Right.
about Eric Garcia, I feel more comfortable with him than with Lenglet.
Bro, Alonso is a drunk driver. Why are we
I'm
trusting him to
thinking
be our
I'm thinking about
defender?
Eric Garcia, buddy.
I understand that, but let's think about it. Marcos Alonso killed someone while he was drunk. I don't think he's the best option.
Okay, look. Honestly, you gotta give away either Eric Garcia or Lenglet, one or two. If you give away Eric Garcia, I'm hoping that one of the youngsters at center back can come up and Lenglet can just watch.
I mean, you also have Mikael Fay, an option there. So I'm saying, like,
yeah,
hey,
but is he already in the first team?
he's gonna be playing for Barcelona Athletic, but once again, like, he can play for the first team.
No, because I know that I think there's like two center backs that are on the first team. I just let me see if I can find them on the
Barcelona website.
On the team bench from yesterday's game. Because I know who I'm talking about. He has a weird last name.
Wait, actually, no. The only defenders registered as first team players are, Marcos Alonso, Sergio Roberto, Inigo Martinez, Andres Christensen,
That's funny. I completely forgot about Inigo Martinez. What's up with him? Because I haven't heard anything.
Bro, he's injured. Like he hasn't even been able to play.
I know he is, but any update on that, or he's still like?
The expected return is basically like early September.
Can we get rid of Barca's medical staff?
Yeah, for real, dude.
I'm convinced they're Madrid
Kind of
fans.
embarrassing.
Bro,
Yeah,
I'm convinced they're Madrid fans. Like Pedri's injured, Rajo's injured. Like, guys, Balde has not.
Is it Pau Kupsi? Is that the center back?
No. I just checked right now. There are no Barcelona Athletic center backs on the team. Like in the first team, no. But as you guys mentioned, if Marcos Alonso does leave, I'm perfectly fine with that. If Eric Garcia leaves, it's a blow because, well,
let's say Alonso leaves and Balde gets injured, who plays left back?
Cancelo.
Cancelo can play left back.
Yeah, Cancelo will play left back.
And say he will back at right back.
And then so he still lives.
Or you just put Conde right back and then Christensen Araujo.
Araujo won't be back for a little bit.
I know,
So
but
we'll have Eric Garcia and Christensen as center.
Oh, brother,
guys, this is
I'm really hoping that Laporta pulls off another center back.
He's getting us Van Dijk.
Did you guys see his record yesterday?
Washed.
Yeah, exactly. Why we didn't get a player who got dunked on?
Yo, that record.
No. Listen. Last season
against Perisic.
Ivan Perisic sent him swimming. He went.
Oh no, bro! His ankles were actually taken.
That boy sent him to sleep. He sends him for a hot dog.
Yeah, man. Like, hold on, let me see if I can find it. The photo. Oh my god. Oh hey. Look at this right here. All right, hold on. I can't show the video, but I have the image. Um, but guys, like, I'm sorry. Look at that, bro.
My boy.
Nah, bro. That's
Yeah, that has to
atrocious.
be at least half of his ACO like got snapped on that one. Half.
Yeah, nah,
Goodness.
I'm sorry, bro. He's breakdancing in that photo.
Wait, you gotta hit
But
him. You gotta hit him with a club. He's such
but
a
that's
clown for that.
bro, and it's so crazy how Liverpool came back against Newcastle, because I was actually like thinking like, hey, 10 man down, Newcastle's
Edwin
gonna get
Nunez
the
is the GOAT.
yeah, Darwin Nunez.
I
He's
said
a
Edwin,
good
yeah,
brick.
Darwin. What happened?
He's a useful brick. He's a useful brick.
Every now
But
and then.
no, I definitely know, Alex, you're hyped because Tottenham is doing well. They're actually third in the Prem right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're third in the Prem.
The
Only
title march
two.
begins now.
Yo, maybe Kane needed to leave for Tottenham to
Exactly.
pop.
Maybe Kane was holding Spurs back.
Maybe Richarlison was the answer. Do the dance, Elias. Do the dance.
Uh, bro, you have Richarlison up top, bro. How do you feel about that? A fake Brazilian, bro. A fake Brazilian.
Yeah, he's gotta be like Paraguayan or something. No offense, guys, but let me be honest. I just
Nah,
thought like the nearest country.
no, for real, like, I'm sorry, like, you can't be Brazilian and play like that. Bro, like, it's actually funny because, like, I mentioned this in half of Sano, and then people also mentioned it, but it's like an epidemic, bro, because, like, these fake Brazilians, you have Rafinha, you have Anthony, you have Richarlison, you have Fred, you have all the
Talking about Brazilians. Yo, Vitor Roque is balling out. He's
yo,
balling
exactly.
out.
Yeah, Vitor Roque is balling now in Brazil at the moment. Guys, if you guys don't know that Vitor Roque actually scored a goal in Paranense's game recently, and it was actually crazy. Um, oh my god, no way. Guys, do you guys know that the EA FIFA ratings for the new FIFA, De Jong has an 87 and Valverde has an 88 rating?
It's fine. It'll get updated after a Clásico. It's fine.
Bro,
It'll
that's
get
actually
updated.
criminal. And then like, no way you're gonna compare
Valverde's about to get
Valverde.
cooked.
Yeah, Valverde's gonna get cooked.
I remember
But
last
guys,
season when he
that was
scored like
it
3
for
goals. Remember last season when we scored like 3 long range goals, and then all of a sudden everyone thought he was the best midfielder.
Oh yeah, like at the very start when you scored like the long shots against in the Champions League, bro. Like, people were saying like, oh my god, this is like the best like midfielder in the world at the moment. But it's just crazy. It's just Real Madrid bias. But guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed episode 7 of the podcast. Guys, remember, this is going to be on Spotify, on Apple Podcast, basically anywhere where you catch your podcast. It's going to be on there. It's going to be on YouTube as well. But guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Remember, if you guys want to join, just go on my Twitter. It's there whenever. And we go live every single Monday, 8 to 10 p.m., just depending on our schedules. But as always, guys, remember, hopefully you guys enjoyed.